representatives from 205 nations, 207 delegations in total, for the first time a delegation representing the refugees of the world, and also athletes competing under the IOC flag.
Rio 2016.
The athletes will enter the arena together, but first of all we recognise the flags of our nations and the flag bearers of our nations. Some of the great stories of the Games and some of the best performing athletes for their nations have been given the honour of carrying their flags in the closing ceremony.
Well, I think one of those that stands out is Simone Biles of the United States of America. Of course, the way she performed her floor routine was utterly exceptional, and her gymnastics throughout this Rio 2016 Olympic Games was exceptional and peerless.
Well, it was an Olympic Games for the teenagers as well, with Penny Oleksiak from Canada, who won the 100 metres freestyle in a dead heat to Simone Manuel from the USA. Penny Oleksiak is carrying the Canadian flag. She's just 16 years of age.
And carrying the flag for Ethiopia is Almaz Ayana, who got the athletics underway with an incredible win in the women's 10,000 metres.
Well, carrying the South African flag right near the front, silver in London 2012, gold in the women's 400 metre here. Caster Semenya becoming only the second South African woman to win an athletics gold for South Africa. Wade van Niekerk, of course, claiming South Africa's other athletics gold medal, breaking the legendary Michael Johnson's 400 metre world record, and that's certainly been seen as one of the more significant athletics achievements in the modern era.
And what an Olympic Games team Great Britain has had. Their best Olympic Games, best performed Olympic Games ever, and carrying their flag is Kate Richardson-Walsh. She's a four-time hockey Olympian. They had an unbeaten campaign here in Rio, and they have won Great Britain's first ever hockey gold medal.
Yes, Team GB, the first nation to win more medals after hosting a Games than that they did when they actually hosted it. So New Zealand, their flag being carried by Lisa Harrington, canoe sprint gold medalist.
Les athlètes! And now, here they are, the heroes of the Rio 2016 Olympic Games,
so as all of the flags do enter the arena, the athletes will start coming into the arena as well. 11,544 athletes took part in these games here in Rio. And they march together.
Well, that's celebrating the diversity of Brazil as well, and the culture that exists here in South America, and this enormous country, fifth largest by area, Brazil.
Well, this marching together of athletes in a closing ceremony actually commenced in 1956 when a Melbourne schoolboy wrote a letter to the Olympic Committee suggesting, as a sign of unity for the world, why shouldn't the athletes march together in a closing ceremony? And it's taken place since that time. Carrying the flag for India as we see more of the athletes coming in. Sakshi Malik was the first Indian female to win a wrestling medal. She won a bronze here, and given the honour of carrying the Indian flag into the arena.
I think one of the amazing things, though, is just how many athletes are carrying their mobile phones in this modern era of social networks and social media. Of course, this is so important, trying to capture moments for posterity. Just about every athlete that enters has got the camera up, or indeed a cell phone or mobile phone up, trying to catch a shot of something that they won't certainly forget.
And one of the great messages from this Games is that the Olympic ideals are spreading across the world now, because there are a record 10 nations that have won their first ever gold medals at these Games. The Ivory Coast, Fiji with the men's rugby sevens, Puerto Rico, Tajikistan, Singapore, Vietnam, Kosovo, Bahrain, Jordan, and of course the IOC independent flag.
Well, the Singaporean gold medal went to Joseph Schooling, 21 years of age. He won the 100 metres butterfly, beating Michael Phelps. So a moment that he will remember forever. And Michael Phelps was then part of a triple dead heat for a silver medal in that 100 metres butterfly. And Fiji, they had a national holiday.
Oh, for Circle Unital's side, captaining Fiji to their first ever Olympic Games medal, and an happens to be gold in the men's rugby sevens. Not to mention, though, I think Cote d'Ivoire's first ever Olympic gold medal is another special one indeed. Sheikh Salah Cisse in the men's 80-kilogram taekwondo. Inside the final second of his bout, he needed 4 points for a kick to the head. And within a couple of milliseconds, it seemed like he had snatched gold away from Great Britain and claimed his country's historic first ever gold medal. It was one of the most enthralling finishes and truly, genuinely emotional for both athletes in the final. That was special for Cote d'Ivoire, not to mention Melinda Kelmendi of Kosovo. Kosovo, one of two delegations competing at the Olympic Games as an independent nation for the first time, along with South Sudan. Melinda Kelmendi, she was ranked #1 in the world in her weight class coming into these Olympic Games, expected to win gold. She didn't disappoint, the judoka winning the women's 52 kilogram.
And what incredible Games it was for the American teenagers. 3 19-year-olds all winning gold medals. Ginny Thrasher claimed her first gold in the Rio Olympics in the women's 10-meter air rifle. Katie Ledecky won 4 gold medals in the pool and set 2 world records. And of course, Simone Biles, who's carrying the flag and is the flag bearer here at this closing ceremony, won 4 stunning gold medals in the gymnastics hall on her Olympic debut.
I hope you're enjoying the music. It's the sounds of one of Brazil's leading voices of a new generation of Brazilian popular music. It's Roberta Sá, and assisted on stage by DJ Dolores and Orchestra Santa Massa, along with DJ Mika Muti. Sounds fantastic, and I'm sure the athletes are just waiting to get into the arena to start dancing and celebrating.
The various athletes representing a host of nations, 207 delegations in total that are being represented as they march into the Maracanã, spiritual home of Brazilian football, world football indeed. But to see so many of the athletes who claimed medals, indeed, for many first-time Olympic experience, they are Olympians. It's a title that nobody could ever take away from them now. They've represented their countries on the greatest sporting stage of them all. Athletes like Kaori Icho of Japan, the 32-year-old wrestler who secured her place in the pantheon of Olympic greats after becoming the first woman to win 4 individual gold medals at 4 consecutive Olympic Games. That was outstanding. And again, another captivating display from Usain Bolt of Jamaica. It's his 30th birthday today. How auspicious. He says this is his last Olympic Games. Usain Bolt, 3rd consecutive Games that he won the 100 meter, 200 meter and 4x100 meter. The triple treble, as he refers to it, and he equals some of the greatest athletes ever, like Paavo Nurmi, like Carl Lewis, like Larissa Latinina, who achieved 9 gold medals. Only Michael Phelps with his record 23 has more.
And we put a birthday celebration on for Usain Bolt, this little shindig. 11,500 of his world teammates and another 60,000 in the stadium.
Well, I mentioned the American teenagers, the 3 19-year-olds. The old men were represented well at these Olympics. Nick Skelton, and he won't mind me saying this, at 58 years old, won the individual show jumping title for Great Britain. And a great story as well on the water. Santiago Lang won a sailing gold medal at the age of 54. But not only that, he was coming back from recovering from losing half a lung to cancer. he was sailing in the new NACRA category, the mixed class, and his sons, both sons, were sailing in the 49ers. And as he came across the line and he won the gold, his sons were just coming back from one of the round-robin seeding events, and came back and they jumped out of their boats, they jumped into his boat, and yeah, it was very, very emotional scenes out on the water.
Well, I'm not sure what Nick Skelton, the 58-year-old gold medalist, was doing when he was 15, but Ren Jian was winning gold here in the women's 10-metre platform diving at 15 years and 180 days old, born in 2001. She is the youngest gold medalist from Rio 2016.
Speaking of superb Chinese performances, of course, we shouldn't go further than the diving. The first ever athlete in Olympic history to win 5 gold medals in diving, Gu Mingxia of China. Another thoroughly impressive display. Another gold medal to add to her impressive tally of 5 now. I think we've got to look as well at the sports that were returning to the Olympic Games. Rugby in the form of sevens and golf in the form of individual stroke play. And you can't say they're disappointed. I think certainly we've spoken about Fiji winning Fiji's first ever medal, happened to be gold in the rugby sevens. But the final between the Australian women's rugby team and the New Zealand team for the gold medal, that trans-Tasman rivalry proved to be incredible. Australia crowned the first ever rugby sevens champions after they beat New Zealand in the final. And the golf, 2 major champions going down the 72nd. Justin Rose, Henrik Stenson. Justin Rose hitting a hole-in-one though on his way to becoming golf's first Olympic champion in 112 years.
Just as we see the French come in there, a little quirky fact for you, the boxer Estelle Mosley of France became the first French woman to claim an Olympic gold medal on her birthday.
You mentioned rugby sevens and also golf. They have both previously been in the Olympic Games. Rugby sevens for the men were in the Olympic Games 92 years ago, and golf 112 years ago. When we think about the Olympic Games, and we will start to celebrate the handover to Tokyo 2020, there are some new sports coming to the Olympic Games. We'll talk a little more about those shortly, but it certainly gives a lot of athletes that have never been Olympians, never had the opportunity to be Olympians, a chance to start also dreaming about going to the Olympic Games.
We're trying to get a new angle.
Good perspective.
No doubt that will be posted on some social media networks.
Some of the other flag bearers that you can see standing now, making a walkway for the athletes to come around. For Chile, Barbara Riveros, who was in the triathlon, had a top 10 finish, carrying their flag. And for Denmark, Pernille Bloom, who won the 50 metres freestyle in the swimming competition, is carrying their flag.
And we just see the GB women's hockey team coming in now as well. And their flag is actually being carried by Kate Richardson-Walsh. And first time that the British women have qualified to the final and win a gold, surprisingly, against a very strong Dutch team.
And that's what it's supposed to be like. Tunisia dancing with France surrounding them. The Russian flag bearers, in fact there's 2 of them out there, and the reason there are 2 is they were successfully defending their gold medal from London in the synchronized swimming duet. It was Svetlana Romashina and Natalia Ishchenko. Both of them have now won 5 Olympic Games gold medals each.
I just noticed that the Team GB have shoes that light up when they dance.
Carrying the flag of Cambodia is Judoka Sorn Sivme. She won Cambodia's first ever Asian Games gold medal. She follows in the footsteps of her sister Davin, who carried the flag in the opening ceremony in London. When she carried the flag in the opening ceremony here, she's carrying the flag in the closing ceremony as well. Finished in 11th rank in the women's 67 kilogram. China, more and more very impressive performances for the People's Republic of China. Diving gold medals, but most notably their table tennis collection continues to grow. They've won 23 now of the last 24 available gold medals in table tennis at the Olympic Games. When you look at medal performances, though, from Team Great Britain, you might talk about Adam Peaty in the pool. Oh, another world record display from Adam Peaty.
And the first British man to win a gold medal since 1988, Adrian Morehouse. In fact, the 100 breaststroke has been a successful event for Great Britain, but he was so far in front. And when you think about dominant performances in the swimming pool, Katinka Hosszu, who is carrying the flag for Hungary, her performances were outstanding. She won 3 Olympic Games gold medals.
Carrying the Puerto Rican flag is Jaime Espinal, the men's freestyle wrestler in the 86 kilogram. He finished with an 11th rank as well, but I think the story for Puerto Rico was undoubtedly Monica Puig's tennis gold medal in the women's singles, the first ever gold medal for Puerto Rico. That was celebrated for some time. It's an intriguing tennis tournament throughout Rio 2016. And Puig claiming Puerto Rico's first ever gold medal. Another enormous achievement.
Remember, this is a celebration of the Olympic spirit. It's not just about the winners. This is about recognizing all those who took part, all those who maybe did not perform at their best. They've still committed 4 years of their life to get to these Olympic Games, and all those who had to withdraw through injury, all those who it didn't go so well. You know, as Baron de Coubertin said, the important thing in life is not the triumph, but the struggle. The essential thing is not to have conquered, but to have fought well.
Australia alongside that of the International Olympic Committee flag that was raised for athletes who marched under the banner, the refugee team, which was an historic first. And indeed, as the Kuwait National Olympic Committee is suspended, the 9 Kuwaiti athletes who qualified as independent athletes competed under the IOC flag, and one of them winning a first gold medal, Fahad Al-Dihani, men's double trap shooting. With the cauldron in the background, the athletes make their way into this venue from the only entrance available to be used by the organisers. The Maracanã is a football venue, doesn't have the number of entrances to the stadium as an athletics track does. So it limited the options for the organisers for both the opening and closing ceremonies. But this venue, just such a part of the Brazilian psyche and so entrenched in the culture of Brazil, that there was virtually no other option.
As the Germans come in, Christopher Hartung of Germany won the men's discus, following the footsteps of his brother Robert, who was the 2012 Olympic champion. It's the first time two brothers have won a gold in the same event. Talking of brothers, though, Alistair and Johnny Brownlee got very close to doing the same, but it was Alistair who defended his title, and Johnny moved up from a bronze in London to a silver here in Rio. The two brothers placing in gold and silver could not be any better for the boys from Yorkshire.
Not to mention the Bender brothers for Germany, Lars and Sven, who finished silver medalists to the host nation Brazil in the football final. As twin brothers, they were looking to become gold medalists together. Claimed Germany's first ever men's Olympic football tournament gold.
A little bit of rain now starting to fall, but it's not going to spoil the party or the parade for the athletes. Some of them with their medals around their neck. They are quite heavy medals in 2016.
Well, here is Colombia, Team Colombia, blessed by the talent that is Catarina Bargen, who after winning silver in London 2012 came into Rio 2016 in the women's triple jump, having gone 34 major international competitions undefeated, and she did not disappoint. And she ended up with a gold medal in the women's triple jump. And carrying the flag is the bronze medalist in the boxing, Ingrid Lorena Valencia Victoria.
As the pace starts to heat up a little bit on this giant dance floor at the closing ceremony. This is Frevo. It's an artistic tradition synonymous with hot, lively parties marked by intense pace of steps, twirls and juggles. It's now very much embedded as part of carnivals in the northeast of Brazil. And it's been declared as an item of intangible cultural heritage by UNESCO.
Well, the athletes in the audience giving a roar of approval to the dancers on stage. Athletes from a very successful Team USA, who became the first nation to win at least 1,000 gold medals at the Olympic Games. At these very Olympic Games, they topped the medal standings yet again. The United States ahead of Great Britain and People's Republic of China, with the Russian Federation in fourth, and Germany rounding out the top five. Swedish athletes now, and a couple of milestone gold medals for Sweden. One in the pool.
In the pool was from Sarah Sjöström, who won Sweden's first ever gold medal by a woman in the 100 metres butterfly. She been a consistent performer for a couple of years, winning, in fact, her first World Championship as a 15-year-old in 2009.
Well,
It confused me just for a second.
well, for just a moment, somebody from Team Australia with a Belarus cap on.
Wasn't Australia's best Olympic Games from a medal tally point of view. Mention the rugby sevens. There's a couple of gold medals in the swimming pool, one in shooting. Modern pentathlon as well, with Chloe Esposito winning Australia's first medal in modern pentathlon in over 100 years. Her brother was also competing in the male modern pentathlon. And also their flag bearer, Kim Crow, now married, known as Kim Brennan. She is carrying the flag. She won the women's single sculls in the rowing. And I mentioned Katinka Hosszu a little while ago from Hungary, who won 3 gold medals and a silver in the swimming pool, but also winning 3 gold medals and dominating in the kayak events from Hungary was Danuta Kozak.
Among the last gold medals to be issued, though, at the 2016 Rio Olympic Games was that of the men's cross-country mountain bike. And indeed, carrying the flag for Switzerland was the victor, Nino Schurter. Showered the mud off. And now the Dutch contingent, Team Netherlands, making their way to the Maracanã. Well, the Netherlands winning both the women's and men's marathon swimming events. The first time that a nation has done this at an Olympic Games. Sharon van Rooyendaal winning the women's event, and Ferry Weertman winning the men's marathon swimming.
And the Netherlands also great in the road race as well. And Van der Breggen won gold in the women's road race. In the women's individual time trial, she won bronze.
And Sanne Wevers did something special for the Netherlands as well.
We talked about Simone Weil and how successful she was at the gymnastics with 4 gold and a bronze. Winning the event that she won the bronze in was Sanne Wevers from the Netherlands, and she's actually carrying the flag as well.
And the Netherlands was strong on the water as well. Dorian van Rysselberg defended his windsurfing gold medal that he won in London 2012. He was dominant over Nick Dempsey from GBR in the water and Marina Gloria. And Marit Boumista won the women's laser radial.
Well, while the rain has started to come down once again and descend upon the closing ceremony of Rio 2016, there are decidedly no dampened spirits.
Now, my experience of closing ceremonies as an athlete can tell you that this party will go on for quite some time.
Did you ever have shoes like that in your closing ceremonies? You're looking envious of those shoes.
Certainly make the Team GB athletes easy to spot in the audience.
Canada.
I was just going to say, Dwayne, it is winter in Brazil, and it seems as though Team Canada are dressed for the occasion. They look almost like they've got the Winter Olympic uniform on.
One of their star swimmers carrying the flag, Penny Oleksiak, gold medalist in the women's 100-meter freestyle, silver in the women's 100-meter butterfly as well. Not to mention a few bronze medals, a couple of bronze medals that she took in the
4x1 and 4x2
relays, 4x1 and 4x2 indeed. Oh, these little plastic rain ponchos just protecting the athletes from some of the...
Well, you may also notice that there is seating area around the arena, so the athletes, after coming in together, will then be part of the ceremony, sitting down on the arena.
They are still exposed to the elements down where their seating area is, though. That's still part of the outside of the football pitch that is underneath this stage, this fantastic setting that we have here for this closing ceremony.
Well, a couple of the Greek contingents getting into the spirit of the party atmosphere, the Carnivale in Rio de Janeiro.
I just caught a glimpse of the Argentinian sailor Santiago Lang with his family, with his sons. 54-year-old gold medalist. I think it's his 7th Olympic Games.
Well, that story, just to return from something as potentially debilitating and indeed life-threatening, never mind career-threatening, as he did lung cancer, and to be competing after part of his lung was removed, and then to win the gold medal. That's virtually unprecedented. Albania into the stadium. Luisa Gega is carrying the Albanian flag, just tucked in behind the Canadians. Luisa Gega, the 3,000-meter steeplechaser.
Well, those Canadian mitts that they were wearing, they were the big hit of Vancouver 2010. You could not get a pair of mitts for love nor money after they wore them in the opening ceremony of those Vancouver Games.
Sounds like a good idea for a fundraiser for the Canadian team. And they continue to enter the arena. Over 11,000 athletes. Some of them wearing a little bit of bling.
Let's not forget that the very first Olympic Games, very first medal of these Olympic Games was actually claimed by Team USA as well, as we saw a shot of a few of the US athletes. Jenny Thrasher, who won the women's 10-meter air rifle.
Talking of bling, the Swarovski crystals that were sewn into the gymnastics leotards of the American team. I think that the actual cost price of a leotard was something like, is into the region of thousands of dollars.
Some of those sports, including rhythmic gymnastics, synchronized swimming, the costumes, from an equipment point of view, it is very expensive, but very much a part of their performance as well.
flag of Bosnia and Herzegovina. Amel Tuka carrying the Bosnian flag. He carried it at the opening ceremony. Just marching into the Maracanã once again. Unable to quite achieve what he was hoping to in the 800 meter.
Now they're getting into it. Team Ukraine. They've entered into the seating area and enjoying the music. Team USA, it was, in terms of their numbers, in 2012 they were at parity for men and women. This time round, the women just slightly more than the men in terms of the numbers.
Albania and Bosnia and Herzegovina, both in the Balkan region of Europe. I saw the flag of Argentina a moment ago, and some of the Argentine athletes. Paula Pareto having brought the Argentine flag into the Maracanã after her victory in the women's 48-kilogram judo.
Also saw the Italians enter the arena. 349 athletes as part of their delegation in 295 events and 30 sports in total. In terms of their medal tally, they won 8 gold medals. Judo, fencing, shooting was successful for them. Cycling, and also Gregorio Peltineri won the 1500 freestyle in the swimming pool.
There's an intriguing delegation of their own. They will host the next Olympic Games, the Japanese delegation, and
a nice touch.
Very nice touch, as they did at the opening ceremony. Japan, Japanese flag on one side, Brazilian flag on the other, and it just illustrates the symmetry between the two, and symbolic of the handing over as well from Brazil to Japan.
556 athletes in the Japanese team, competing in 314 events. They had a pretty successful Olympic Games. They won 12 gold medals in total. And those gold medals, well, they had the swimming pool, athletics, badminton. They also did well in artistic gymnastics.
Judo and wrestling, certainly the two sports that Japan dominated, but judo are expected to claim a few gold medals, like Master Berger and Haruka Tachimoto.
And of course, in 4 years' time in Tokyo, karate will make its Olympic debut.
Yes.
Along with skateboarding.
And surfing.
Surfing, of course.
Climbing.
Excited about surfing, sorry, rock climbing.
Sport climbing, yes, indoor sport climbing.
And it will be quite spectacular as athletes climb against each other.
At the return of baseball, softball for the Tokyo Olympic Games of 2020 is one that'll be very welcome in Japan.
6-team competition for baseball and softball.
Well, the Tokyo Dome, one of the great venues to watch baseball. Tokyo hosting the games in 4 years' time.
Ukraine won 2 gold medals at these Olympic Games in terms of their delegation, as we see the Japanese team still entering. 218 athletes, 5 silvers and 4 bronze for a total of 11 medals. They're doing a wonderful performance on stage.
And no doubt welcome to the athletes is the fact that the rain it hasn't stopped, but it's certainly not quite as heavy as it was a short while ago. It's perhaps just a shade heavier than a drizzle currently.
Well, that's all of the athletes in now. They've just got to work their way down the line of flags, and then around either side. They're going to come down and then spill out on either side.
Flags of so many nations. Ireland, Egypt, Chinese Taipei. What success they had in the weightlifting. Su Shunqing, the women's 53 kilogram gold medal at the Rio Centro venue.
That's Miles Chumley-Watson, the fencer. Men's foil team silver medalist. Apparently that move is called the dab.
Have you not heard about it?
Yeah, well, my daughter told me that. It's a dance move known as the dab.
Yes.
And it comes from a sporting reference, so you're dabbing the sweat off your brow.
I have 3 children who are very proficient at the dab. There is also an orchestra out on stage on the arena. The orchestra's conductor is Spock, and he's a member of the orchestra Santa Massa. Gwen Jorgensen breaking the drought for the USA in triathlon. They had only won a bronze medal on the Olympic appearances from triathlon since 2000. And that was in the women's triathlon in 2004. And Gwen was a convincing winner in the women's triathlon.
Team Great Britain shoes have certainly lit up this parade that marks the end of what was a fabulous collection of sporting achievements. Some historic highs, many first times, so many personal achievements and milestones that heroes were humbled at these games, and indeed new heroes born. But what punctuated Rio 2016 as well was once again, I think, just the unpredictability that sport provides, and constantly we're reminded of just what a great sense of pride that gives us, what a sense of astonishment, what a sense of joy it brings.
And heartbreak.
It's the overwhelming emotion from every angle. More memories to be captured.
Forevermore they will be known as Olympians. You're never a past Olympian or a former Olympian, you are an Olympian.
Well, there's the Belgian contingent. Saw the Danish contingent a moment ago.
They won their second gold medal
But
on the last day of competition.
yeah,
Handball.
one of the more impressive performances I thought was Nampisato Tiam's win in the heptathlon. Over 7 events, she managed to beat out the likes of Jessica Ennis-Hill, Brienne Thiessen-Eaton of Great Britain, the defending champion, and the wife of Ashton Eaton, the men's decathlon champion.